For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
How prepared is St. Lucia to receive returning nationals who are deported from the United States? And get ready for delays, warning being issued by the island's Prime Minister. As we welcome you to yet another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, NewsSpin, on the NewsSpin Facebook page, the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, as well as on Power 97.9 FM. Welcome to another edition of the program. We'll be able to call in just a moment at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And Amanda is here. She'll be going through some of your comments in the chat room. We hope your Tuesday is enjoyable thus far. So you've been hearing from the island's Prime Minister, as well as the External Affairs Minister, over the last few months, since Trump, who had already promised in the build-up to the presidential elections that if and when he gets back into the White House, he will be taking a hard line as far as ensuring that the U.S.'s immigration laws are adhered to. And those who flout it would pay a heavy price, and of course that would include mass deportations. And so he has delivered on that promise. This prompted the Prime Minister as well as the External Affairs Minister to make certain pronouncements regarding putting St. Lucia in a state of readiness to accept the number of nationals who will be returning imminent. Because we know that a number of St. Lucians, they would have breached various regulations. They would have overstayed the time frame that was given to them to stay in the United States, and therefore you would have expected a fallout. Now, you have to give this administration some credit as far as this issue is concerned. At least its approach was forward thinking. But you wonder whether in reality it has lived up to that billing when you hear certain things. And when you do not get a sense that as much as the Prime Minister had made reference to the setting up of an immigration task force that is headed by the Missing in Action, Home Affairs, and Minister with responsibility for crime prevention and persons with disabilities, Jeremiah Norbert. But we heard and we understand that there is such a task force in operation. To what extent, we don't know, because as far as its work is concerned, there has been little to no information disseminated to the wider St. Lucian public. It's very easy to say, let me set up a task force, and let me call it a task force to reduce food prices, or let me call it an immigration task force. It exists in name, but whether it does exist in reality is a totally different issue. Because up to now, the Prime Minister in particular has not been able to inform the St. Lucian public the exact number of St. Lucians who have been deported from the United States under this Trump administration. And all indications are that things are haywire, chaotic, no specifics. I mean, it's a good thing I don't attend those press conferences anymore, because just watching the convening of those exercises, it really causes one to be frustrated, because you ask certain questions and you expect that the persons who are before the microphone at the podium providing you with clarification on a particular issue and explaining certain things, that those people are playing games. It is all about seeing things from a particular prism. That's the political one. Everything has to do with the opposition. When people want critical information, yes, we are prepared. We don't have a choice in the matter. We have to accept those people who are being deported from the United States. It is not about stigmatizing them, but as people who are in St. Lucia, who are already grappling with certain issues, whether it is unemployment issues, whether it is the high cost of living, and also matters relating to security, you want to know who are those persons who are returning. Again, I'm saying not to judge them, not to stigmatize them, but to understand the reason or reasons why they have been deported. If you overstay, it's understandable. But if it has to do with certain serious crimes relating to various acts relating to fraud and things of that nature, the country has to be on the alert. Security forces, the NGO community, in terms of ensuring that those people can be rehabilitated and resettled comfortably in St. Lucia and things of that nature. You cannot face a situation where it is so embarrassing, where one deportee is being asked to tag along with another deportee. And we'll prove that point in just a moment. But let us hear from Prime Minister Philip J. Pierce speaking yesterday during the pre-cabinet press briefing and being asked a question regarding nationals who are deported to St. Lucia from the United States.
Important debate between my eyes would have shared his experiences with the press. My question is, how many deportees has St. Lucia received since the Trump administration implemented his new policy, and is anything being done to help them reintegrate into life in St. Lucia? As some of them would have gone off as children and not know much about the country?
I hear that question very, very often, and I know you ask this question out of the one for knowledge. Deportees have been coming to St. Lucia all the time. St. Lucia has been receiving deportees for ages. You may even remember, probably you may not remember, in 2016, the then Prime Minister said there were 800 deportees until he had to be admonished by the press. You see, these are things that, again, is the pretense that we have and not knowing our history. The then Prime Minister, who is not the leader of the opposition, when he won election in 2016, speaking about deportees himself, he said there were 800 deportees. Check the record. That wasn't true. Right? So now they try to create a big fuss of the deportees. That has been happening for ages. I can tell you, the St. Lucia government cooperates fully with the U.S., as we always did for our deportees. There's not been any extreme number of deportees coming to St. Lucia since the new Trump policy. No, it's not true. The deportees continue to come. When they come, they are processed as per usual. As per usual, miss. They've been processed as usual, and then right now, as the number may increase, we are speaking now to the SSDF, we are speaking now to the Ministry of Equity to see if in some of these cases there can be some level of support to allow them to reintegrate in the society. So you're very correct, but it's not anything new. There have been deportees coming to St. Lucia all the time. But you're right, as the numbers seem to increase, they have not increased to any extreme amount, I can tell you. Whilst we cooperate with the U.S., they have not increased it to any large amount. But we are speaking now to SSDF and the Ministry of Social Equity to see if we can have some level of reintegration. We are having that discussion.
So no kind of clarity from the Prime Minister on this important issue. That is because he wants to politicize it and make it an issue as if that's an issue that is being propelled or an issue that is being instigated by the opposition in terms of the discussion on it. You merely asked whether you can provide some specifics with regard to the number of deportees being sent to St. Lucia from the United States. That is a simple question, but it took us back to memory lane, 2016, and statements that were made then by Prime Minister Alan Chasney regarding deportees to St. Lucia. He's correct when he says that's not anything new. But the Prime Minister understands the circumstances under which persons are being deported from the United States to St. Lucia right now. He understands it. And that is why, unlike previous occasions, when the administrations of SLP or UWP did not see the necessity to set up a task force, an immigration task force, he, realizing the circumstances under which persons will be deported to St. Lucia and the likelihood that we might see a greater number of such individuals, he set up a task force. But yet still, he wants to minimize the whole issue about people being deported from the United States to St. Lucia. Quite confusing, and just a simple question that was posed to the Prime Minister. We are dealing in an era of data, and it appears that the Prime Minister is quite willing and able and adept to provide us with data when that kind of information would give the impression that his government is one that is efficient and certainly one that is recording progress and success after success in St. Lucia. He quickly will tell you about low unemployment in St. Lucia, consistent economic activity on the incline on the island, and he'd provide you with the statistics and the figures, etc. But a simple question, the number of persons who are being deported to St. Lucia, At least give us a ballpark figure, give us an indication so that the people who are watching and listening can be better informed by their leader, by the Prime Minister of the country. Because those are the kind of statistics that are readily available in Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, and a number of other regional territories. So remember I was telling you earlier on that one St. Lucia national deported to his homeland is being asked to assist another St. Lucia national. And this is against the background of all the talk of having set up a task force. So those people are being deported. They land in St. Lucia. The police, immigration authorities would know that they have been deported. And that's it. That is it. We're not assisting in the reintegration. Those people are not being interviewed and provided with assistance. We don't know whether they are going to live in Timbuktu or wherever they're going to live in St. Lucia, and the circumstances under which they are going to be existing on the island. But he speaks about assisting via SSDF, etc. Let's listen to Mr. Eddie Belas speaking to reporters a little over a week ago. He was deported to St. Lucia late last year after being in the United States for a number of years. He went there when he was aged 17.
Two of the guys left St. Lucia when they was 9 and 6 years old. And when they got back here, they was telling me that they don't have no family members. One of the guys, he said he had an uncle, and another guy, he said he don't have nobody. The only thing he remembers is that he's from Castries. So when we was leaving, after the interview, the officers came to me, Mr. Bellis. I said, what's going on? They said, we have a situation here. Can you take that guy with you? And I was like, is there any kind of incentives or kind of programs for people that are returning? And how do we integrate these people back into society? Because it's one thing for we to accept, the nation to accept deportees, but another thing is for them to have or to properly reintegrate those people into society. Because if we don't do that, then it's like you're bringing a problem on your hands.
So the quote of the day, Mr. Belas, can you take those guys along with you? Let's listen to External Affairs Minister Mr. Alva Baptiste speaking some 4 months ago regarding the setting up of the Immigration Task Force.
St. Lucia is certainly not above the law, and we have an obligation under international law to maneuver in specific ways. The United States of America is a very good friend of St. Lucia. We continue to strengthen the bonds of friendship, and our relationship is established on the basis of mutual respect and trust. We are working with the U.S. We are in constant communication with them to ensure things happen as smoothly as possible, and we have also put local mechanisms in place to deal with any issues of deportation. So rest assured, whilst we are not going in the public domain to speak to various scenarios, we are in the back rooms preparing for the inevitable.
That's the island's External Affairs Minister speaking to reporters during the pre-cabinet press briefing some 4 months ago. Let me hear from you right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Allow me to go through some of your WhatsApp messages while we are awaiting your calls. Somebody says that we have our neighbor country Martinique deporting our citizens mostly every week. For 2 weeks, I've counted at least 6 people being deported, last being on Sunday evening. Another WhatsApp message. Tim, why we cannot hear the questions from the media? Why? And we have some more of your messages. Every day we see how incompetent, disorganized, and secretive this current administration is. I'm seeing viral messages where Mr. Joachim Henry will be contesting the next general elections as an independent candidate. What do you think? Well, I don't know. It's his prerogative whether he wants to contest the general election as an independent candidate or whether he wants to contest on a St. Lucia Labour Party ticket, or whether the St. Lucia Labour Party will determine that they want to choose some other individual, maybe Lisa Jawayer. It is their prerogative. It's a free country. So I don't have any specific comment on this. Let's see there. We have another WhatsApp message. Another person said, some 4 months ago, y'all preparing for deportees, but they just sent this fella back and y'all ask him to take the other 2 guys with him. Let's see if we have a call on the landline while we go through your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, my God, I just tuned in and I'm already disgusted. Okay, I think we have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Tim, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, I'm happy to hear the Prime Minister say that the former Prime Minister could have given the data of 800 deportees. But right now, the question is how many that he himself can report. But I did not call for that today, Tim. I called in about the Grenivier Health Center. I am from Grenivier, and I do not want to appear like I am criticizing development. But Tim, from the time the Minister of Sports built that wall on the Grenivier playing field, they have broken the health center. Last night was the second time in 2 months. And medication-wise, I think that they brought medicine for the pharmacy yesterday. And this morning, health center cannot open, doctor cannot be seen. People who went there to see the doctor in the health center team has been turned out and send them back because of the doctor is not there. They break and enter the hospital and the health center, and nobody is talking. They're not making it known to the public that they have broken the health center for the second time, and the health center cannot function. The doctor cannot visit the elderly people at least, and the pharmacy cannot give medication because they have stolen everything in the health center, and it been a hush thing, and nobody is saying nothing. Thank you very much.
You say that's in the Grenivier area, sir?
The Grenivier Health Center team.
Okay.
And from the time they build that wall, the wall is blocking the view of people because everybody else living team at the back of the health center. But the wall now is blocking the front. So if people are breaking and entering the health center, nobody on the road, nobody at the front cannot see what is happening. So the people believe that they can just go and just rob the health center and take whatever that is there. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. But caller, shame on those people who break into a facility that is there to provide the services to members of the public. That's one. Shame on those people. They don't have a conscience and they don't care about their well-being and the welfare of all the other citizens, those people who rely on that particular institution or facility for their improvement as far as the healthcare is concerned and treating medical conditions. That's one. And two, the authorities obviously should know better. They ought to have put various security measures in place because it's almost inevitable that you'll have miscreants, you'll have criminals who will do things of that nature. So you have to put various mitigating measures in place. That's a responsibility of the authorities because, you know, if you don't do it and somehow there's a break-in, people will be inconvenienced. And it's a life and death situation. So this certainly needs to be attended to. We have a call via WhatsApp as we say hello. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, my brother Tim. Good afternoon, Amanda.
Good afternoon to you, Patu.
Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, hope all is well.
All is well, sir.
So, yeah, I'm good. Sometime last week, somebody visited me and they told me they would have called you, let you know they did visit me.
Yes.
I don't know if they did.
Somebody informed me. Yes, the person informed me.
Yeah, and all the time is my neighbor. She's just very close and I didn't know. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, thank God for NewsSpin, yeah? Timmy, I have a situation, and I don't like to go over my health situation, what I'm going through, because it sounds like a bell in people's ears, and sometimes people might think I'm looking for pity, so that God would have mercy on me and things like that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm good with what I'm going through. It's my cross, and I'm carrying my cross. And anytime it gets too heavy for me, if it's burn, I have to burn that cross, I'll burn that cross. But it is my cross. But my biggest problem, because what I'm going through is a situation, but I have problems when with listening to some of those ministers that, you call them sir, you call them honorable, all kind of fancy name. And when I listen to them, they are my biggest problem. They are making me sick, Tim. I listen. Let me go back to that fellow Clinton with that cow business over there. And every time I hear people are calling, they are complaining. And I just sit back and I'm just listening to what action they will be taking. And all the time, it's just talk, talk, talk. One man, even you all of those problems, you just talk, talk, talk. Now the cow is not the problem. The owner of the cow, that is the problem. So you will go and you try to do something with the cow. The cow is innocent. He's the owner. And I'll not say what to do with him and how to handle him. But I'm only saying the owner is the problem. And if you have to deal, you deal with the owner. You understand? Okay. Let us look at those deportees. Before they finish asking the Prime Minister the question, he ready to answer, because he don't have an answer to what, or he don't want to answer the question, but you already have what he have in his mind to deliver, so he don't even want to hear the question.
He has a premeditated response.
Exactly, ma. Thank you. You're always taking me somewhere. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, he always ready. And a simple question. The last, I don't know if it was the first set of people they deported, and one of the ministers, I don't remember if it was Jeremiah or which one of them, and they was telling you it is below 11. Below 11 don't have a number. It cannot be 6, it cannot be 5, it cannot be 7. They said it was below 11. So just give us straight figures so that we'll know what to do. This time they said it was free. Why you cannot check it out and just give us something to work with? And these are the things that are making me sick, Tim. I will just try and make it short, but very, very sick, I'm telling you. I'm just running out of words. And I think I'll just stop there. Because these guys, to me, they are not honorable. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I don't even have a problem as such with if it's labor or flambeau. But I have a problem anytime the Prime Minister speaks. I have a problem with him. I have a problem with Ren Richards speak. I have a problem with that other guy, Healy, when they speak. I don't have a problem with the others as such, but when those three guys speak, they are not telling you what you the truth. They are not telling you the truth. As if don't question me. That is none of your business. And that is what making me sick. Have a blessed day, Tim.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed day as well. Because I think with regard to the number of deportees being sent to St. Lucia, that question has been posed to the Prime Minister on numerous occasions. He has a press secretary, he has a communications officer, you name it. All he can do is to say, Madam Reporter, I will be getting back to you, or the press secretary will have a response for you very soon, so bear some patience. But on every occasion, to sidestep the issue and then to make reference to the opposition, that certainly is not solving our issue, that's not answering our questions, and certainly not dealing with our queries. Let me turn my attention to Amanda. Good afternoon to you. Tell me what's happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, News Spinners. Tim, a few comments from the chat room, and News Spinner says there. Look at the ministries that's all over the place: Home Affairs, Crime Prevention, and Disabilities. Another commentary reads, some members of the SLP are claiming we hate our country only because we're asking questions and demanding answers from the Prime Minister in relation to this entire ordeal. 1. When has a genuine concern about being on the short list for ban equated to hate for entry? 2. If we can't question our Prime Minister, then who can we reach out to? A NewsSpinner says these aren't press conferences when all the questions are asked are being safe questions. Another commentary reads, I have never seen such a level of ignorance in this country. It's like we must accept what's going on and say nothing. Someone says, and now the same press doesn't admonish. Let me try that again. And now that same press does not admonish you and your nonsense. Someone says here, NGOs are non-existent presently in St. Lucia. Their mere existence is calculated and only speak out when a certain political affiliation is in elected office. Another commentary reads, but PJP we are talking about now. We do not need a history lesson. What are you doing? What are you going to do? A NewsSpinner says, if they are processed, how many have we received? Another comment says, this Prime Minister and the SLP government are running on a luck and chance practice or planning, whereby they hope and pray that nothing happens to show their lack of preparedness. Another commentary says, but those are two completely different deportation situations. Shasney had the typical random ones, whereas he has the mass deportations to deal with. Someone says all this SLP administration does is a lot of talking. They make people believe that they are working, but nothing is being done. And someone says the Prime Minister knows about the 800 in 2016, but can't give the figures while he is in government. A commentary reads, how can a health facility in this day and age be left so vulnerable? Where is the Ministry of Health? Where is the Prime Minister? Where is any official statement from those in charge? The community deserves more than silence. They deserve a full update from the ministry, urgent action to secure and reopen that health center. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that update. We have a WhatsApp message. Before, the number of deportees from Canada was much greater than that of the USA. We are fully aware that the number from the United States is a lot more. We are concerned because Bellas came out openly. We have learned that the flights came late night or early morning. We have seen videos of some in despicable attire, which is a concern. On one flight, there were 6 persons. Last week, there were persons coming in. There are young men who left St. Lucia at the age of 6, 7, 12, and 11, respectively. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Okay, somebody says there via WhatsApp. It reads, okay, all right, we'll go through another one. Let's see if we could access some other WhatsApp message. And this one says, Tim, according to the deported guy, it's like Alva still working in the back room some 4 months ago. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good day, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
I know this is not relating to the topics that you have.
We don't have a topic. We don't have a topic.
Okay. But what you were speaking in relation to the deportees and stuff. So, but coming home, you know, the highway from Soufrière to Castries, this thing is still posing a problem, you know. And I think the minister needs to get involved in that. People are being delayed over 20-30 minutes on that highway for, I don't know. Because to me, if you're not doing something like that, you need to leave one of the areas, you know, open so that people can pass. You're not opening on the road. The road is small the same way. If you don't even know properly, you not even think you're on a highway. But they are inconveniencing people. I know, yes, it's a renovation and it will take a little time and, you know, you have to pack in some patience. But this is ridiculous. People have to be, you know, coming out of their vehicle wondering what is going on. You know, the lines are long. You're waiting there over and over and over. And the guys are sitting there. They're looking at you like, what's the big deal, you know? And then I asked the driver yesterday, the chauffeur driver, you know, is this a one-off thing. The man said he's always going through that. They're always going through it on that highway. But you have to just wait there for over 30 minutes, 40 minutes. You have tourists coming out and saying, "What's going on? Is there a roadblock? Did something fall?" That is unacceptable, especially on an area that is so, utilized by tourists. And this is what we were selling. This is all we have right now. And for us to be, I know progress has to happen. I know you have to fix your roads. I know all these different things, but you have to put provisions in place that you cause minimal, problems, because people have places to go, people have things to do. And that's not a road whereby you can say, okay, let me turn back. You have to wait. You'll have no bypasses, nothing like that. I think they need to do better. Namalco is really, that's crazy.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through while we are waiting your calls. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. All this SLP government says are lies. That's according to a WhatsApp message. And let's see if we have some more of your messages. Again, we await your calls. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. So we definitely need to engage in some planning, because clearly, if we have a significant number of St. Lucia nationals being returned to the island for whatever reason or reasons, we do not want to be caught flat-footed. We want to be in a state of readiness. And the government certainly gave every indication that it was expecting a number of St. Lucia nationals to be deported, and therefore it planned to put certain measures in place. But it would appear that those have not materialized, and definitely it has not really fulfilled the promises made during those press conferences. All right, let's see if we have a call via WhatsApp as we say hello. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You on the air?
Team.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon, Tim. Tim, I heard a man mention a while ago about the roads. Tim, I always say, you see the way we fix roads in St. Lucia, we'll always have this problem. Always have this problem. Because what I notice, every time we fix the road in St. Lucia, we are digging into the foundation. We are in the foundation. And that takes a lot of time. A lot of time to fix the roads. People don't fix roads that are again. That's the past. Tim, you live in Martinique there right now. I'm in Martinique, and they're fixing the road for you. You go in and sleep. When you wake up, you see they scrape the top of the road because they do not go inside the foundation. But the foundation is solid already. They give it one time. Solid foundation. So when they fix the road, they just scrape the top. They scrape the top. And so you go to sleep, they scrape the top. When you wake up next day, maybe about 2 days, when you're going to sleep again, the road is paved. They never had a problem here. But in St. Lucia, every time they fix in the road, they in the foundation. I do not know why. I do not know why they are doing that. But so that is what the reason why I'm saying we will always have these problems. Once we fix in road in St. Lucia, we'll always have, because they always go inside the foundation. People don't fix road like that again. I don't know why they are doing it, but they need to explain that to people. Okay, Tim?
Okay,
that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let's see if we have another WhatsApp call as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. All right, I think we have lost that call. Let's continue with our calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. But again, there are some challenges that we will continue to confront. We have some global challenges, and that is why we continue to hear, especially of late, that the outcome of elections would produce certain consequences, because you have to elect people into office, first who can represent your interests at the constituency level, and then in a cabinet, as well as dealing with certain geopolitical issues and certain challenges that almost inevitably will emerge. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Tim, Tim, bon après-midi.
Oui, bon après-midi.
Tim, sou, moi, about santé, c'est ce que j'en voulais quoi. C'est pour ça, je ne pas.
Ok, double là, écoutez-moi. L'année des zones, non ready, you by casual là. Tout n'est pas bon, moi. Eh bien, fermez, et nous ça parler. Oui, parlez.
Sou, pour être pour chrétien. C'est Dieu. Madame, qui ça qui, c'est Dieu qui, la panouille l'aide, on a les chaises, c'est pour, ouais. Pourquoi? C'est mon pilier, c'est Dieu qui. Moi, c'est Dieu, moi, qui. Moi, j'ai une histoire là. Et on y est, dis-moi là, monsieur, tu m'as la malade. Monsieur, pas de vous dire que vous avez quand je suis allé, juste go, les monde aller parce que mais qui va là? Qui c'est pour pourquoi c'est ça man pour dire pour dire. Bye bye, merci.
Okay, merci beaucoup. You know, when people call and they tell you that there's no medication and no beds at the various health institutions, and in this particular instance at St. Jude, the politicians, particularly on the government side, they use whatever platform that is at their disposal to discredit individuals who are making such claims, who go through certain experiences and will share it with the rest of the public. Because very often, a lot of us in the north don't know what is happening in the southern part of the island and vice versa. And as a result of this, the politicians, because they are always on the campaign trail, what they set out to do is to discredit those people and to pin them as liars. I remember once Pato called NewsSpin, I think it was sometime last year, the middle of last year, and he said that you had no bed sheets at the hospital, at the St. Jude hospital, etc. And you know, a particular supporter of the SLP called to deny this. And to literally, basically calling Pato a liar. I don't think people have any reason to lie. And very often, those are the people who went through this particular experience. It is not second-hand information that they are sharing with us. And this last caller said she had a relative who went to the St. Jude Hospital and there is no medication. They had to travel all the way to the north of the island to access medication. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It's called NewsSpin. We'll continue in just a moment with more of your calls, your WhatsApp messages, and of course, Amanda will be going through some of the comments in the chat room. First, got travel plans? Don't let paperwork slow you down. This Saturday, 28th of June 2025, the briefcase is making applications for passports and visas faster, easier, and stress-free. From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., head upstairs the Greens building right next to the V4 police station. Whether it's your first passport or a renewal, we've got you covered. We also assist with applications for police records, U.S. visa applications, and business registration. Come see us this Saturday, 20th of June. Call 718-8624, 718-8624, or 713-7503. That's 713-7503 to book. Walk-ins are welcomed as well. No lines, no hassle. Just expert help right when you need it. The briefcase. Your journey starts here. Still to come, get ready because you will be inconvenienced.
Carnival just got crunchier with KFC. It's time to fet, win, and feast with the Carnival Crunch Box. For just $30, get a big crunch or zinger sandwich, 3 crunchy strips, a dipping sauce, regular fries, a 16-ounce soda, and a biscuit. But wait, that's not all. Every Carnival Crunch Box gives you a chance to win big. Promotion runs June 1st to July 20th. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Do whatever that crunch you want. Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. payment plans are available for Tooms. Call us in Vidboutet at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilec averti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone Salah. Mi an ti commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Kouye Lucilec avant ou trim et ben couper pied bois qui poué ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outil ou ka servi pas vini moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
Need more days of savings? MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Super Saturday of Savings has just been extended to Sunday. Take advantage of amazing deals. This weekend, MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt are offering you amazing discounts on selected items. MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Super Saturday of Savings has been extended to Sunday. Don't miss out on the incredible discounts and deals. See in-store, Facebook, or www.mnchomedepot.com for more details. Terms and conditions may apply. Better value for better.
Flo's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or launcher. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
Discover the future of body imaging innovation at La Clinique de Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, where the gold standard in MRI technology meets unparalleled medical expertise. From the intricate neural pathways of the brain to the delicate structures of the spine, and from the vital functions of the heart to detailed multi-parametric MRI of the prostate, our higher resolution images see the unseen from head to toe. Our radiation-free Signa Prime Tesla 1.5 MRI machine is assisted by artificial intelligence, enhancing its precision in creating quality images for our trained radiologists to give you more accurate readings. Our facility ensures fast access to specialist doctors, including pain management, rheumatology, and family medicine. Proudly serving as a world-class facility in the OECS, we bring international standards of healthcare within your reach. There is no longer a need to travel overseas for superior medical services. Experience the pinnacle of diagnostic precision and patient care right here in St. Lucia. Schedule your MRI with La Clinique de Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence located in Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 for your appointment. For your peace of mind, ask about our flexible financing options, including our copay system for clients with health care.
Essie, don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Chivi's Tire Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Chivi's Tire Shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall Building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your wallet. Let's go.
Chivi's Tire Shop, located at the American Drywall Building, Vigbute. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Chivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
The Royal St. Lucia Police and Allied Services Credit Union Limited wishes to inform its esteemed members of its 51st Annual General Meeting on Wednesday, June 25th, 2025, 10 a.m. at the Financial Administrative Building, Point Surf in Castries, under the theme, Enhancing Our Financial Future Together. The first 50 members to register in person will win prizes. Members joined virtually will also get a chance to win special prizes. Come discuss the business of your credit union. Please be punctual.
The President of Nigeria is visiting St. Lucia on an official visit. I just want you to inform the public that there are going to be delays in traffic on the days that the president is commuting. These delays we want to tell you that we're very sorry. We apologize for the delays that will cause because of security arrangements that are mandated because of the level of the visit. The protocol and security arrangements are things that St. Lucia has no choice but to follow them. So I want to apologize before to the public for the delays. It's only going to be for a short time because we have to afford the President of Nigeria all the protocol and security arrangements as demanded by international protocol. Just wanted to tell the public that and say that we're very sorry for the inconvenience, but it's going to happen on the days that the president is moving from point to point. The Minister of External Affairs will give you a full breakdown as to the times that the president is moving. In fact, I think there are some public service announcements that will be out. So it's important that the public knows and there are no surprises because there will be delays for the President of Nigeria.
You're there from the island's Prime Minister preparing us for expected delays, and that's due to the visit of the Nigerian president. And the Nigerian president will be in St. Lucia, and that is between June the 28th to July the 4th. June 30th and July 1st will be official activities, and after that the president will be purely on vacation. So get ready because you'll be experiencing some delays. 4522979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Good afternoon to you, Amanda. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room.
Tim NewsSpin says there when PJP was in opposition, he said that he has the right to know everything that was happening at the time. Now that he is Prime Minister, he tells people when they are asking questions, that's not your business. Another commentary reads, they gave us the impression that they were the most ready for the deportees, like PJP was to become Prime Minister. A NewsSpinner says there we're in a communist state, my people, because citizens in St. Lucia, as I speak, should not talk about the social ills of the government and their behavior. Another commentary says, and Trump's want the third world countries to start taking in deportees, so PJP needs to come out with the truth. Someone says, I recall I heard you loud and clear, and honestly I know exactly what you're talking about, because I've lived it myself. That's Sufre to Castries route, it's like a daily endurance test. Long waits, traffic backed up like it's Carnival Friday, and the road just can't keep up with the times. Another commentary says, in times of crisis, leadership matters, and St. Lucia is in crisis, and the present leadership is not capable of taking us out of this situation. A NewsSpinner says, amen, Tim. In the north, they have hospitals and polyclinics, and we in the south have no place to go. When we are sick, some prefer to stay home and bear the pain or even die. Another commentary reads, based on what we've seen, the current administration appears ill-equipped to navigate the complex challenges of today's global environment. What's needed is decisive, forward-thinking leadership. Unfortunately, the PJP-led government has not demonstrated that level of preparedness or vision. There is a noticeable lack of urgency and strategic planning in their response to even local issues, so it's fair and in the public interest to ask, if the government struggles to manage basic domestic matters efficiently, how can we confidently trust their readiness to respond to something larger, something global?
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that update. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, ma'am. Good
How
afternoon.
are you? Hope
I am
a
okay.
Good day.
How about
And
you?
Amanda, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, caller.
I'm doing well.
Okay.
Tim,
Let me just inform my audience. This is not Nigel Tousse. It's not Nigel Tousse. Go ahead, caller.
Oh man, I tell you, I hope to meet her one day. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering, is St. Lucia under the jurisdiction of NATO Article 5?
Under the direction of
NATO Article 5.
I'm not aware, caller.
Okay, NATO Article 5 is it's a like you see, like I will say an alliance is a couple of countries that is, if there is one
yes. If you attack one, you attack all.
Is attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are not.
Oh, you're not?
No, because you're not a member of NATO.
Well, so you guys, do you have an army then? How do you defend yourself?
No, we don't have an army. We have the police force, and the military arm of the police force will be the SSU. So we're not under Article 5, we're not protected by it, and we are not a member of NATO. Because you realize that what really pushed the Soviet Union to attack Ukraine is because Ukraine wanted to join NATO. So in the event that Ukraine became a member of NATO, if the Russians decided, or Soviet Union decided, the Russians decide to attack Ukraine, then the rest of NATO would join that particular battle in defense of Ukraine.
Right, understood. But I will say OECS, I mean, what defense that you Caribbean have, like if something should happen, because right now, anything can happen because of what's going on currently, the climate. And I can tell you that being here in the U.S., and I was watching Mr. Pierre, he was, addressing you guys and saying that he is fully compliant with the U.S., but there is no contingency plan for the ones that will be deported. And this is fluid, right? It's ongoing.
Yes.
Because a St. Lucian could be deported to El Salvador. What is the protocol? Like, if that happened, how can they get that St. Lucian to St. Lucia?
Yes, that is a distinct possibility, and maybe if through diplomatic discussions, maybe that St. Lucian could be located, whether it's in El Salvador, whether it is in Sudan. Somehow, maybe through that intervention, that St. Lucian could be located. But it's a distinct possibility that this can happen to any St. Lucian, or for that fact, a Caribbean national.
Right. So when he was addressing this matter, he did not explain and say that because if nothing is happening now, I can tell you that the courts are still going, because the deportees, they are not, obligated to have them sent directly to their country of origin.
Yeah, they could be sent. They could be sent to a third country.
Exactly. So if St. Lucia is identified by the United States as being one of those, Mr. Pierre did not have a clear answer to this. Because then, this little thing with the U.S. that, when they want something done, they will push until they get it. And so you need to have a solid answer and not be, saying that you're not sure. You need to be sure, because these things are the possibility. Because right now, the courts are ongoing, and the citizenship by those of people that had children in the U.S. And so those people that were not citizen and had a child in the U.S., the possibility of your child and you being deported, this is an open court case that is ongoing, and that is being heard next week. So Mr. Pierre is unsure of what will happen for the number of people that will be deported. That to me is concerning, because then don't never just take what the U.S. say, because they will say one thing today and tomorrow it just might change. Because Tim, I can tell you, I have seen things here. People are being picked up off the street. If you look Mexican or if you look of a different race, so they will just pick you up and just ask questions later. So those things, to think that the volume of people are not liable, they're not going to be coming down to St. Lucia, I can tell you right now that just may change. And I'm very, as a St. Lucian myself, I'm very concerned. I'm gonna leave it there. But there's so much I have to say. But I know every single thing is being censored, and you just have to be so careful.
Okay.
But thank you for this opportunity.
You're welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for your contribution. It is not far-fetched that a St. Lucian who has been living illegally in the United States upon deportation can find him or herself in a country other than St. Lucia, what is being described as a third country. And those are all the kind of possibilities that us St. Lucians, citizens, the St. Lucian community, likewise our governments, certainly must be prepared to deal with those possibilities. And I guess that's why we have a minister or Ministry of External Affairs, but there's not sufficient information emanating out of this particular ministry, out of the Prime Minister, the Office of the Prime Minister, particularly involving those critical issues. There are certain emergencies that must be given that kind of treatment. They treat something with the urgency that is required. And when a government cannot answer simple things or address simple things like the number of persons who have been deported from the United States ever since this Trump administration got into office, then you get the impression, you might not be right, but you get the impression that the government is not properly equipped to deal with the many challenges that are continuing to emerge and are definitely on the horizon as well. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Yes, Timothy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Timothy, this deportation thing is so frightening that I really want to weigh my take on it. And it goes back to accountability and putting mechanisms in place to protect our people, those coming in via the realms of deportation and our country's own citizenry. Timothy, we know that persons will be from all walks of life. And like it was being said earlier on, there is no slated place as to where they will be sent to. Timothy, if somebody, and I'm not saying that the persons that they are sending are of that nature, but if we have pedophiles, we have serial rapists, we have all of those individuals and they are coming back to the Caribbean, they have their index crime associated with them. Should there not be a database, or should we not be informed? Because those persons can be our next door neighbor. those persons can be individuals, you know, who we need to be, the authorities need to be aware of. A task force needs to be set in place so that we in St. Lucia are protected. Timothy, already crime is at its, you know, unbearable state. These are questions that we need the authorities to answer, and I am asking that we get our house in order. Thank you, Timothy.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution. Clearly, those are valid concerns that are being raised by our various callers, and this is the result of the inability, I almost said ineptitude, but inability of the authorities at the level of the government, our Prime Minister and the other relevant officials, to deal with those important matters. Because it's as if the Prime Minister and even the folks who are in the public relations arm of the government, you have to anticipate that naturally persons would be very concerned, and as well they'd be very curious as to how the government plans to deal with certain issues, and you know, to preempt and to allay the fears of the citizenry, to provide that kind of information in a timely manner. That's why you have NTN. That's why you have various media outlets. And that's even why you have NewsSpin as well, is to share that kind of information with members of the public. And it's not everyone would be in a position to readily have that information at their disposal. You have the Ministry of the Responsibility for External Affairs. You have the various agencies overseas. You have our consulate offices. You have our embassies overseas. They ought to be collaborating and have information that they can share with the people of St. Lucia, likewise St. Lucians in the diaspora. I do not want the government, particularly on this occasion, to say this again, as an attack on the St. Lucia Labour Party administration. That is not the case. But it is, we want to be in a situation where we can readily deal with whatever challenges that would emerge as a result of the immigration policies of President Trump, as a result of what is happening in the Middle East, as a result of what is happening in terms of geopolitical issues on the whole. We have to be in a state of readiness, because we certainly do not want to panic and to finding ourselves in a situation where we are finding ourselves to be vulnerable and cannot respond adequately to the various challenges that are bound to emerge. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room and turn our attention now to Amanda.
Tim and NewsSpinner says, caller, you said it best, and you're not alone. St. Lucians are frustrated, tired, and fed up with what's happening at St. Jude Hospital. No medicine, no proper services, no answers, and now people are being told to understand the situation when the only thing we understand is that SLP has failed. Caller, let's not forget Alan Shasney and the UWP were building a modern state-of-the-art hospital, a facility that was almost ready to serve the South with pride and dignity, but the SLP stopped it. Another commentary reads, the Prime Minister should know that in the kind of job he is, people will always ask him questions and he has to answer them because he is working for the people of St. Lucia. A NewsSpinner says PJP spoke like he knows very little about this meeting with the Nigerian president. Who set up that meeting? Another commentary reads, who's paying for all the security? But you take away the security detail for the leader of the opposition. I hope St. Lucians come out and protest all the delays that they are paying for. Someone says, team, we are no longer living in ordinary times. Nations are rising against nations. The prophecies of Revelation are unfolding before our eyes. This is not a time for weak leadership, indecision, or political games. This is a time for strength, a time for clarity, a time for bold, capable leadership. And let's make it plain, the United Workers' Party is ready to lead St. Lucia through these global storms. A commentary says, St. Lucia, like other nations, must be prepared to receive its citizens in a way that protects national security, supports reintegration, and safeguards our communities. But here is the hard truth. St. Lucia is not prepared, and the current SLP administration has offered no real plan, no structure, no strategy, and no sign of urgency. This is not a moment for confusion. This is not a time for guesswork. This is a serious national security matter, and the people deserve clear answers. Where is the reintegration framework for returning citizens? How is the government ensuring public safety and social support? Someone says here the government is too concerned about the opposition that they can't focus on what's happening globally. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that update. WhatsApp message. What exactly is the Nigerian president here for? Has the country been told what economic deals has been or will be signed? What is the real purpose of his visit that merits disrupting our lives? I'll take this type of disruption for a Taiwanese president, a Canadian prime minister, or German head of state, etc. They are forward-thinking leaders. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, Ministry of Health promised to the disabled people false legs, and up to now, not a word, not a word. And another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, the deportation of persons from the U.S. is frightening and is psychologically damaging, not just to the reporters, but also the citizenry. The Prime Minister says his government has not received official notice. 1. Did he request the St. Lucia Embassy to carry out checks as to ascertain what is actually happening? 2. What assistance is being given to St. Lucians to effect their self-deportation and avoid being detained by ICE? 3. What are the plans to house and help those deportees with settlement? Tim, these are questions Prime Minister Pierre or his press secretary are duty-bound to give answers to. Another WhatsApp message. We have no military. We have a police force which is supposed to function in that way. They are sometimes taken outside to perform military duties. However, if we were a normal country, that would not happen. They receive no benefits like members of other armed forces, so I doubt that title can be attributed to them. And another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, we depend for our own on CARICOM to protect us like they protect Haiti. Another WhatsApp message, and it reads, don't you believe our Prime Minister wanted to invite Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso instead of the Nigerian president, and he made a faux pas as usual? LOL. And another WhatsApp message, somebody says there, we are not part of NATO. Well, I explained that earlier on. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through while we are waiting your calls once again. A WhatsApp message, somebody says there, it's a long one. If the administration is being evasive about deportation figures and hesitant to release pertinent information, that raises serious concerns about transparency. In standard practice, the consulate would typically receive a list of individuals from the U.S. State Department requesting verification or documentation for those scheduled for deportation. That list is usually forwarded to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to facilitate the necessary coordination and processing. It's important to note that consulates are generally made aware of individuals earmarked for deportation in advance. However, one of the long-standing challenges we face is the absence of a modern, centralized database system that can reliably store and synchronize information related to our diaspora. Much of our record keeping is still done manually, with files stored in boxes, an outdated method that hampers efficiency and accountability. During my tenure, I had discussions with an official from Malta who expressed interest in assisting with the development of a digital infrastructure for this purpose. Unfortunately, those plans were derailed by the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic and never came to fruition. It is worth mentioning that our consulates often mirror the operational style of our domestic public service, only that they function in a more technologically advanced environment. Even our official websites are outdated and do not meet the standards expected in today's digital landscape. The issue of deportees returning home and the need for a structured system to support their reintegration and monitoring has been a topic of discussion for some time. Unfortunately, there seems to be a persistent lack of political will to implement meaningful solutions in this area. And this is coming from Alvin G. Landers, former Consul General. And thank you so much for that in that WhatsApp message. Another one says via WhatsApp, why is government responsible for persons being deported? The government did not buy the tickets to go to the U.S. If one goes to the U.S. for years, gets deported, and having nothing to show for it, why do we need to take care of them? Obviously, you are being myopic and you are being very ignorant, okay? Because those people are returning, they are nationals. They were born in St. Lucia. And they're returning to an environment that they're not aware of. They would have left at age, okay, let's say they bought a ticket. Age 25, went to the United States, returned at age 45 or 50, and they returned to St. Lucia. And they've been exposed to a particular life in the United States, in Miami, Florida, etc. Particularly, let's say it's a life of crime. And they're a lot more sophisticated, not only than our criminals in St. Lucia, but law enforcement on the island. They certainly will be a handful for us on the island. Talking about credit card fraud, you're talking about a whole host of issues that definitely they could embark upon and that could affect the wider St. Lucian society. So quite apart from being a humanitarian, it is to our interest to know that those people are returning to our island and to ensure that they are reintegrated, provided with training if they need it, various assistance, and if it requires, even put them under some level of surveillance. So, don't be so short-sighted as to say that we have to leave those people to fend for themselves when they return to our island. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello? Yes, caller. Good afternoon. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Timothy Poleon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Mr. Timothy Poleon.
Good afternoon.
Well, you see all this side of the road getting clean because the African money is coming in. So they're cleaning everywhere. Everywhere was in a mess, so they're cleaning everywhere now. Security, man. God, I give him 80%. I sticking him there for the longest while now. I bringing him higher, I bringing him lower. Because there's a lot of magic going on, and I see coming out and, give a statement, say something about what's going on in the country. Now, we have people coming from overseas already here. Prime Minister, this is a Prime Minister, and know nothing. That's my point of view. I don't know about other people, that's my point of view. A minister that ain't know nothing. All how you ask him, everything is all right. Things happening to us in the US there. And you know nothing. You have people in the US who getting missed from Bali or wherever in the US who are in charge. So one of them people are up there with the whole family living large. What work they're doing up there? I don't know. I just want to know. So I want you to get the information on that for about them people up in the States that work in that getting how much $1,000 every month. What is the purpose that they're there for? Find out that from Mr. Timothy Poleon. Good afternoon.
All right, sir. Good afternoon to you as well. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We're trying to go through as many of your WhatsApp messages as possible. I think we're due for a break anytime from now. Let's see if we have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, there's a crime standard established by the last set of deportees to St. Lucia. Do St. Lucians remember that? And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. Okay, somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, in addition to the ad money. Okay. I want to go into this one. Another one says, Gassa, no. Prime Minister, I tried. Life is too easy for you in St. Lucia. I think you need to be set straight, unacceptable if you can't do better. Are you bigger than people of this small nation? I don't think you are a patriot. You are just power hungry. That is according to a WhatsApp message. Another one says, How can we have a leader who is always confused, not confident when he speaks, and never seems to know what is happening even in his own country? It's high time he allows a leader who is more ready than him and who can give us the answers. Shaking my head. All right, that'll do it for our WhatsApp messages, but continue to send them. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, August the 3rd. Got travel plans? Don't let paperwork slow you down. This Saturday, 28th of June 2025, the briefcase is making applications for passports and visas faster, easier, and stress-free. From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., head upstairs the Greens building, right next to the VA4 police station. Whether it's your first passport or renewal, we've got you covered. We also assist with applications for police records, U.S. visa applications, and business registration. Come see us this Saturday, June the 28th, or call 718-8624, 718-8624, or 713-7503, 713-7503 to book. Walk-ins are welcome. No lines, no hassle, just expert help right when you need it. The Briefcase. Your journey starts here.
Mark your calendars for July 30th and 31st. It's 2 days of sizzling savings you don't want to miss. Cashier Day is coming to Europa Hardware. Get 15% off all your favorite cashier gear. Wet and dry vacuum cleaners, powerful pressure washers, gas or electric, upholstery cleaners, and steam cleaners that make grime run for cover. Swing by Europa Hardware and score 15% discount during the Cashier Day promotion. Remember, it's July 30th and 31st. Write it down, set a reminder, tell a friend to tell a friend. Don't wait, don't miss out. Call us at 452-0763. Europa Hardware in Massad Rosalie. We service what we sell.
Prepare for the hurricane season by ensuring trees and other objects on your property won't get tangled in overhead wires. Be careful. Ensure ladders and tools don't come within 10 feet of power line. If a tree is near electrical lines, don't try to trim it yourself. Contact Lucelec at 452-2165 or 454-6617. Be smart, stay safe.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
It's in the feeling in our weak side. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. Cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things flowing. Before we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrating. Come let your rhythm flow.
Calling all teens. This one's just for you. Get ready for the KFC Teen Socarama happening Saturday, June 28th from 12 to 6 p.m. at Serenity Park. It's a full day of teen talent on display. Junior soca and calypso artists, kiddie carnival bands, fashion, drama, games, and non-stop vibes. Come out and let's have some good, clean fun. No alcohol, just finger-licking goodness. So tell a friend, grab your crew, pull up to KFC Teen Socarama. See you there.
Good spirit. I drink in a good
St.
spirit.
Lucia, are you ready for the ultimate all-inclusive?
Chalet Blanc, the all-white event. Tier 1 now available at Frontline Ticketing, Eventbrite, Digicel Baywalk Mall, 4 Circles Ticketing, or WhatsApp at 240-344-8629. A musical journey curated by the best local and international DJs. St. Lucia Carnival Saturday, July 19th, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m.
At Sanders Golf and Country Club, Kappa State.
Look, something to talk about.
Unlimited drinks, brunch buffet, top-class entertainment.
Stay tuned. This event is powered by One Golden Fox and Natalie Events.
Discover the future of body imaging innovation at La Clinique de Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, where the gold standard in MRI technology meets unparalleled medical expertise. From the intricate neural pathways of the brain to the delicate structures of the spine, and from the vital functions of the heart to detailed multi-parametric MRI of the prostate, our higher resolution images see the unseen from head to toe. Our radiation-free Signa Prime Tesla 1.5 MRI machine is assisted by artificial intelligence, enhancing its precision in creating quality images for our trained radiologists to give you more accurate readings. Our facility ensures fast access to specialist doctors, including pain management, rheumatology, and family medicine. Proudly serving as a world-class facility in the OECS, we bring international standards of healthcare within your reach. There is no longer a need to travel overseas for superior medical services. Experience the pinnacle of diagnostic precision and patient care right here in St. Lucia. Schedule your MRI with La Clinique de Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence located in Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 for your appointment. For your peace of mind, ask about our flexible financing options, including our copay system for clients with healthcare.
Looking for amazing deals on tiles? Mark your calendars. Every last Thursday of the month, the Tile Gallery is offering up to 50% on selected tiles. Whether you are renting your kitchen, updating your bathroom, or giving your entire home a fresh new look, now is the time to transform your space and save big. Enjoy up to 50% off on selected tiles. Don't miss this incredible opportunity to upgrade your home without breaking the bank. Visit M&C Home Depot and Sunbelt locations for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
Cricket fans, get ready for non-stop cricket action. The St. Lucia National Cricket Association Dream 11 St. Lucia Blast T10 tournament is back, bringing the fire and excitement of fast-paced cricket at the Grosse Lane Mini Stadium. It's 15 days of exciting, exhilarating cricket with electrifying T10 cricket battles from June 24th to July 8th. First match starts at 12 noon and 2:30 p.m. for second match of the day. Come see some of the island's best cricketing talent as they go head-to-head in this fast-paced format that promises to rain sixes, wickets, and nail-biting finishes. Mark your calendars. June 24th to July 8th at the Grosse Lane Mini Stadium. The St. Lucia T10 Blast, where legends are made and dreams come alive. Let the blast begin.
The Royal St. Lucia Police and Allied Services Credit Union Limited wishes to inform its esteemed members of its 51st Annual General Meeting on Wednesday, June 25th, 2025, 10 a.m. at the Financial Administrative Building, Point Surf in Castries, under the theme, Enhancing Our Financial Future Together. The first 50 members to register in person will win prizes. Members joined virtually will also get a chance to win special prizes. Come discuss the business of your credit union. Please be punctual.
August 3rd. August 3rd. We will bring all of our new candidates, all of the candidates. And on August 3rd, we are putting the Labour Party on notice that we are ready. And if you believe that St. Lucians are prepared to put up with this nonsense of these lies and these deceits and this mismanagement, and the households that are suffering in this country. Healthcare people are suffering in this country. Small businesses are suffering, and that the only solution the Labour Party has is to tax you. August 3rd. And when we come on August 3rd, we are going to start putting pressure on the Labour Party every week until they call the election.
Leader of the Opposition United Workers' Party, Mr. Alan Shastney, speaking on Sunday during his UWP's Sunday Night Live. WhatsApp message. In regard to deportation, one could be doing very well in whichever country, but when they are facing deportation, they are being sent down without anything. If you are arrested with your gym wear on, that is what you will have when you arrive in your country. You are not given any chance to get your money or anything at all. Another WhatsApp message. Isn't Jeremiah and Elijah Norbert related? Why is Jeremiah speaking so aggressively against Elisha? Okay, let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Remember, we could take at least one final call at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's go to Amanda for the final update as to what's happening in the chat room.
Just a few comments from me. Tim and NewsSpin says here, Tim, the current government isn't proactive enough to stand up to the challenges ahead of them. With this government, you will only get the blame game. Another comment here reads, I guess when you have a government who is not used to giving people information, what do you expect? Spina says, wait for it. Philippia will ask us to house those deportees. Someone says, why some people pretending like those fellas being deported are saints? That's it for me, Tim.
All right, thank you so much, Amanda. Let's turn our attention to our NewsSpin question of the day. The NewsSpin question of the day reads, how prepared is the PJP administration to adequately respond to global crisis? How prepared is the Philip JP administration to adequately respond to global crisis? That's our NewsSpin question of the day. I think we have several responses on our NewsSpin Facebook page. I don't think I have time to go through them. Let me turn my attention now to the NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day reads, Trump drops an F-bomb venting at Iran and Israel. Trump drops an F-bomb venting at Iran and Israel. And let's take a listen.
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
President Trump drops in an F-bomb venting at Iran and Israel. That concludes our NewsSpin broadcast for today. Another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. My name is Timothy Poleon. Enjoy your Tuesday and join us tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 for another broadcast. Goodbye.